Hello and welcome to the United Man. My name is Shane. This is the Manchester United latest news, and we obviously have a special guest with us. Thank you very much, Mac, for joining us. This is Adam Mckola joining the stream. How you doing, Mac?
I'm good, thank you, bro. Thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming.
It has, bro. I think the last time I've seen you was after the City game, weren't it? After we beat City 2-0.
Yeah, that feels like it was years ago.
It literally does feel like it was years ago, bro, to be honest with you, man. But yeah, that
was the last time we had fans in the ground as well.
Yeah, that's right. I think you had a little fan cam thing afterwards as well, innit? So
it did feel like special that day. Like it felt weird. Like I don't know. I remember just like celebrating the McTominay goal and looking around like, yo, this is amazing.
It was, bro, because it was like what it was like last minute, wasn't it? Like sort of like towards the end, like 5 minutes before the end or something like that.
Yeah, so like basically before the end of a game, because I sit at the back of the Stretford end.
Yeah.
Before the end of the game, I'll walk down, and because people leave early, I'll sit in the seats at the front, so I can as soon as the whistle goes, I can just scoot out and I'm gone. I walked down there at that point, so it must have been after 90 minutes.
Oh, see.
Added time.
Yeah, there was one. There's like, was it like 6 or something like that?
It was a long time added on, and then we scored that. What a time!
I was gonna say, bruv, it was brilliant, man. I was hyped after that game. Question for you though, bruv. So, did you after that game? Did you feel like we was gonna get Champions League place and third spot as well?
Now I thought it was done. You know what? I thought maybe Chelsea, because I thought maybe we could catch Chelsea and get fourth. Obviously we caught them in the end, but I thought Leicester are a ridiculous amount of points away from us at that point. And
when it like 13, 14 points on it.
Yeah, and around January when we lost against Burnley and Liverpool back to back, I think everyone kind of wrote it off then top four. And then it was just good to see us playing football and winning games again. And we started that kind of run. And I don't think anyone really... I was even thinking at some point, I hope we don't get a Europa League spot so that we don't have to worry about Europa League next year. Now that's how I was thinking about it. So
that's it, innit?
we weren't even thinking about top four. So then to just go on that run, come back after the break and get third, it shows you how bad Leicester did, I think. But we went on an incredible run.
Bro, we were super consistent, bro. But I suppose it's one of those where, like you say, you got to have the rub of the green as well. And I suppose with that being said, where we are now, obviously Europa League still playing, but looking at next season as well, obviously there's additions needing to be made as well. One of those being obviously well speculated, well reported, obviously Jadon Sancho. What's your take on that, Mac? Obviously there's reports saying that we've got Jadon Sancho, personal terms agreed. Obviously other reports saying that obviously Dortmund is saying that, you know, there's been no contact. What's your take on that, Mac?
I think like the reliable guys, when you're looking at Fabrizio and that, they're sticking to their guns. They're saying United have agreed terms with him and we're just trying to get a deal done. And I think that's where we are at the moment. I'm quite confident we're going to get Jadon Sancho.
But
at the same time, you always have to account for the fact Ed Woodward and the Glazers are in charge. So you kind of have to take that into consideration as well. But it looks like a deal. Like if I was a neutral, which I'm obviously not, but if I was a neutral, I would think this is a no-brainer. Like Jadon Sancho is destined to come back to England.
He is.
City don't want to buy him back. Don't know if Liverpool have got the money. They never had the money for Timo Werner. Chelsea have gone elsewhere. So you look at all the options and it's just United. United have got a 7 shirt available. We've got our right wing spot available. And I know people, like we're going to talk about Mason Greenwood in a bit and how great he is. But he's not on that, you know, he's not a right winger. We don't want to go into a season thinking Greenwood's the main man because it's unfair to put that pressure on the kid, no matter how good he is. So I think getting Jadon Sancho is a no-brainer. It's just whether we can get this deal done. So it could drag on for a bit. But I think as soon as we agree a fee with Dortmund, it will go like that because the players, let's not be naive, agents and clubs and all that talk. Do you know what I mean? Like especially once we got Champions League football, I think it became, you know, certain that Jadon Sancho would join us.
You see, you mentioned the Champions League, Mac, as well, though. Obviously, Pogba joined us without Champions League. Ibrahimovic, obviously a bit older, joined us without Champions League as well. I still think, because obviously, I think players I say people, players especially, appreciate what is going on at Manchester United. Yeah, it's a rebuild, but not only is it a rebuild, it's where we are in the rebuild as well. So where we are in terms of we're not at the beginning. Obviously we're not at the end yet, but we're in a good way into it. And I think the Bruno Fernandes signing, that kind of went into, you know, showing people where we are at the moment. The emergence of Greenwood obviously went into showing people where we are. But I feel like maybe Sancho would have joined in any case of not being in Champions. If we didn't make it in the Champions League, I feel like he's mates with a lot of the Man United boys, isn't he? It's well
but I think the financial side of things would have been a bit different then.
True,
you know, with like the coronavirus and all that. So I think whilst he probably still would have been up for it, and then we got the Europa League to play for still, so it would have dragged on longer. Like, all right, Champions League for Europa League. So like, I think because don't we get less money from Adidas and all that if we don't get? It's possible
like
we would have been forced away.
Yeah. It is part of it for sure, bro. And I think with Adidas, it's like, you know, like for example, where you're doing add-ons onto signings, like you say, they do the same as well for finishing a certain place, finishing in the Champions League, Europa. Like you said, it's less money, isn't it? So all that being said, I kind of feel like, for example, what the statement that Man United obviously released to the English press, saying obviously we're not going to be bullied and all that kind of stuff. I kind of feel like that was almost like, you know, them sort of like posturing to Dortmund, saying, look, you know, we want to drill down the price a little bit. Maybe they're not going to be bullied, but at the same time, it's using the media, isn't it, for your own sort of benefit.
I think they've been doing that for a long time, though, like bidding via the media. Like you've heard, is it Michael Zorc, the sporting director at Dortmund? I think his name. Like he's always coming out chatting, and yesterday he came out and said if he's going to come to our training camp on Monday, but then he said we would take 120 million euros. So I think like the sounds coming from them is obvious they want to sell. They're a club that does that. There's even now talk that Memphis Depay is going to replace him, and like they're lining up their replacements and all this. So Dortmund are a selling club.
Yeah,
no matter how good of a club they are, they're a selling club. And Jadon Sancho wants to go. So it's just a matter of getting that deal done, because United will want to spend money elsewhere. Let's say we got 120 million available to us to spend, or 150 million or whatever. You're not going to want to put all of that on Jadon Sancho right now. Because if you want to get, let's say, a Grealish and a centre-half, that's probably going to cost you around 80 million.
Yeah,
so United are probably trying to get into a position where we can give Dortmund 60, 70 million up front and then pay the rest later. And now they're just posturing over that deal. So it's going to drag on. Maybe United are waiting for Sancho to hand in a transfer request.
Boy, well, that kind of, what does that do in this situation though? Because obviously the handing the Sancho, you know, Sancho hands in a transfer request, but at the same time he's still under contract. Do you know what I mean? I understand it. It's sort of, you know, they don't. The club
players have that
player power,
but they have a lot of power in terms of if he says, "Yo, I've told you like I want to go. I'm not going on his preseason training camp."
Yeah,
like you could, you know what I mean? He could do it quite easily. So
it's true. And then like just, you know, say, well, I'm going to sit on the bench, and obviously his value then goes down as well, doesn't it? No,
and it's like with Jack Grealish, Villa are saying 80 million, and then United brief that we're not in the race for him, like we're pulling out of the race. That's obviously to kind of say maybe to Jack Grealish, all right, Jack,
sort it out.
You got to go talk to your boys, like, because we can't afford 80 million in this market. So
it's true. It's true.
They're putting that's the good thing when you're buying players that only want to kind of come to United, or they really are pulled in by Man United.
Yeah,
it's easier to do these things when you're battling 2-3 clubs and you just go in there saying, take all the money. It's the wrong way around things. So it's good to see us kind of targeting these players that are keen to come to Man United.
So that being said as well, though, now, we're targeting players that want to be a part of the Man United squad and the Man United rebuild. So I'd say we're well underway with the rebuild. Obviously, we're not challengers yet. But what I would say is that we're in a good position going forward for next season. And obviously a massive part of that is Mason Greenwood, obviously. Now, was he finished on 16? Well, I say finished, still got the Europa League.
He's on 17, isn't it?
17. So he's on 17 goals. He's been breaking all kinds of records as well. I just wanted to put up a sort of graphic for you to look at as well, Mac. with when Rashford was 18 versus when obviously Green was 18 still now. But one of the things, obviously the appearances is one of the things, but the shot accuracy and conversion rate is a massive difference.
Especially that conversion rate's like double.
Yeah, it is. It's double. So obviously, and if you check it out, Rashford's obviously had a lot more shots because he played a lot more games or started in a lot more games. But the shot accuracy and conversion rate versus he's dribbling one less dribble per game as well. So he's just looking for the net every single time. Do you know what I mean? So that being said, for me, that is huge. The conversion rate and the shot accuracy.
I don't think I don't think Mason is comparable to Rashford, with all due respect. I think Marcus Rashford is a magnificent talent and he's breaking through at United. But I think a lot of his comes down to he was quite fortunate to get the opportunity. He obviously had talent, and then he surprised a lot of people by scoring the amount of goals he did. He was always a more creative player than a goal scorer coming through.
That's true.
I think with Mason Greenwood, he is a natural finisher. That is him. He is a goal scorer, and he's got all these other things in his locker as well. And I think those stats are amazing, but I don't even think he's played that well. Something
I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? There's so much more to come from him.
I hear
emotions, and then bang, bang, and he scored a goal, and it's like the kid's ridiculous. I haven't seen a kid make such an impact since Wayne Rooney. I don't think. I just think he's made for men's football. You look at him and you think, he looks a little bit shy. He looks like he might be easily marked out of a game, and then he gets on the ball, and it's just is magic. So I think he could be
Go on, say it, Max. Say it, Max. Come on, man.
That's
what
one of the best in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
He could be one of the best in the world.
Okay, so where we are now, so he's 18, right?
If he was coming through in France, and this is no disrespect to Mbappe, because I think Mbappe is a worldie, imagine how many goals he would have, and people would be talking about him
whoa.
Yeah, whoa. The Euros are going to be very interesting for Mason Greenwood next year.
I think he's going to displace Harry Kane, because
Mason Rashford and Greenwood up top. Sorry, Mason Sancho and Greenwood. Mason Sancho, Rashford.
Yeah. But it's true, bro. It's true. It's true. Okay. So Sancho is going to start. I'd feel Rashford. It's out of Rashford and Sterling. I think starting, and if Greenwood's on form come obviously international season, then it's a direct comparison of Greenwood.
Depends how this season goes and the injuries and stuff.
Yeah, but look at Kane now.
The thing is, I don't see Gareth Southgate dropping. Harry Kane's captain, isn't he? That's not going to happen. So he's going to be maybe him coming in for Sterling and coming in for Rashford and all these.
Is it too much then?
Eventually, if you're scoring goals, you can't take him out of the team.
Yeah.
But most importantly for United, in the Champions League, he's such a weapon next season because most of these defenses have never played against him.
Yeah. And he's a European footballer as well, though, isn't he? He's in terms the way I say European footballer, it's he's all technique. You know what I mean? He's got a trick on him, obviously.
He hasn't even got to showcase that yet, his skill and his trickery, his free kicks, all those kind of things. He hasn't got to showcase half of what's in his arsenal yet. All he's got to show us at the moment is his finishing, because he's coming in from the right, cutting in, bang.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because if Sancho comes in, everyone worries about him. But if you're Rashford, Marshall, and Sancho, you got Greenwood snapping at your heels trying to take your spot because he can play in any of those three positions.
Any three positions. Yeah,
that's great for United.
It's true. I don't think people appreciate the versatility of Greenwood, as well as the fact that, because there's a stat that I found that Thierry Henry at Greenwood's age, Greenwood's outscoring him by something like 11 goals or something like that.
Yeah, Henry had a slowish start, didn't he?
But he was out on that winger, though, wasn't he? He was out on that winger when he went to Juventus as well. He was an out and out winger, and I feel like he was.
Was it Wenger who changed him up?
Yes, it was actually. Yeah, took him from, even when he got to Arsenal, he was still playing slightly on the left and then on the right, and then he got put up top, sort of thing. But then throughout his whole career, he always favoured coming in off the left flank, didn't he? And obviously slipping in the bottom corner.
people get concerned about where Mason Greenwood would play, Martial's there, this, that. When you play now with like a front three, football's changed. So it's not like you're putting Mason out on the wing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
true.
He's still in a forward position. He's still able to get into areas where he could do damage. It's not like back in the day where most teams are playing a 4-4-2 and like your young striker's now playing left wing where he's got to protect his fullback all the time.
It's true. That's
he
true.
still has to do that, but you've got more midfielders behind you now and things like that. So the game has evolved a little bit from where when Henry was playing out wide, he was playing as a winger.
Yeah,
I think Mason's still playing in his favoured positions. And when you're so good on your left foot as you are on your right foot, you can play anywhere. Like
it's true. It's true, bro. It's true.
You see them all rotating, which is good. Like one of my favourite things about Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez was they just popped all over the pitch.
Interchange, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see these lot doing it. Sometimes Martial will drop out wide, Rashford will go through the middle. It's exciting times, man.
Okay, so that being said, though, Mac. So yes, it is exciting times, and listen. It's not about doom and gloom or anything like that, but I'm being realistic. Like, for example, I was listening to the radio on the way to work this morning, and I'm hearing them talking about how they're saying that it was one of the journalists, actually. I think it was off the Sunday Supplement, and there was one of them was saying that he still doesn't think that Ollie's the guy to take Manchester United onto winning titles and all that kind of stuff. For me, if you look at where Ollie's taken us, so for example, because there's a few things I was looking at beforehand. I'm thinking to myself, so okay, he's brought us from how many points down to bring us into third. He's re-established a dangerous attacking play. Obviously, we've got a consistent lineup as well, which we haven't really had since Fergie days as well. We brought some respect back, man, and some fear back to Old Trafford as well. For me, so when people are saying like, listen, for example, Matt, when we done that fan camp outside of Old Trafford after the City United game, I was one of them that was saying, look, I don't know if Ollie is the guy to take United to winning titles. What I can say is he's on the trajectory. We can't say, yeah, he's the guy. For me, he's more the guy than anyone else, if that makes sense. What do you think to that?
Yeah, I think like at the start when Ollie got the job, I was unsure. Like, I love him. He's a legend for the club.
Yeah,
he'll always have my support and my backing. Like, I want him to do well. If I seen him lift a trophy, like it'd be a big moment. You know what I mean? Like, any trophy, like it'd just be great to see him do that as manager. Like I had my doubts about whether he could do it in the long term. I still have some doubts, but I think what he's shown is that he knows he's got a good eye for players and talent.
Yeah.
Some may say it's obvious, but he's bringing the right kind of characters into the club. He's got rid of the right players. So his transfer policy so far has been very good. He's made decisions which have always been for the benefit of Manchester United and not necessarily for himself. So there maybe be short-term pain, for long-term gain. You think about at the start of the season when he was getting criticised for praising the likes of Pereira and stuff like that. That was all he had to play with. Do you know what I mean? And You've seen now that as soon as he's got the players at his disposal that he wanted, those guys ain't around no more. So it's like he's been ruthless, but he's also been considerate and like try to do things which make Manchester United better, the environment at Manchester United better, and the team spirit's obviously back. And you look at most of the players at United, I think bar David De Gea, they've all improved under him. So I think he's earned the right to take us on. Now, I think the doubts come in when, let's say we are involved in a title challenge or we have a good start to next season. We got ourselves into a position where, the pressure's on now. Can he handle that? Do you know what I mean? Can you handle that? Can you handle the big stages of the Champions League? Because that's ultimately where United want to be. We don't want to be a top 3 team. We don't want to be a top 4 team. We want to be a top 1 team. So he's shown us so far he can get us here. Yeah. Now he's got to prove he can take us on the next level. But I think he's earned that time as much as anybody. Like, he deserves it. I'm a massive fan of Pochettino, and when Mourinho got sacked, I thought he was the man that we should have got.
Yeah, that's how I felt as well.
I'm not gonna start sitting here saying let's get Ollie out right now because Poch is available. Like, because ultimately Ollie's shown that he deserves to be in this job, and he deserves an opportunity to push us on.
So what about tactically then, Matt? Because obviously there has, for example, the most recent, obviously is our first loss. What is it in 20 games? But the game against Chelsea tactically has been a question throughout, I suppose. But for me, and there's nothing wrong with it because he's adapting and he's growing. But it seems like he's learning on the job as well as he's going along. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because every day everyone's learning everything. No one knows everything. But at the same time, it seems as though on occasions when it's come to a tactical battle or the tactical nous, it seems, and I know you've heard it enough times, reported on it enough times as well, but tactically, how do you feel? Because obviously in the Champions League next season, that's all the best managers and all the best players as well. So what do you feel in terms of tactically?
I think in the big games, it's been good. I think if you look at our record in the big games, it's been very good. I think it comes down to those games where you should be winning, but then you think back to some of those games that we should have won, and we're playing with like players that aren't Manchester United players. So it's like now he's had the chance. This is where it comes in. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously tactically it's very important. I think at times his substitutions are strange. I think at times he can get the tactics wrong, but isn't that what every manager does? I think he's always shown a willingness to change. A willingness to change something during a game, or a willingness to change something the next game. I think one thing which frustrated me this season was I felt we could have maybe rotated a little bit more, so that when we got to that semi-final against Chelsea,
we weren't dead on our feet.
Got knocked out.
We
should have been going for that. Like the team that we played, I feel was a little bit disrespectful, but at the same time, it's hard to judge because Van Gaal got sacked when he won the FA Cup and finished 5th. So if Ali wins the FA Cup and finishes 5th, like, is he going to say to Ed, well, actually, I had to tinker because I had to win the FA? Well, no, you never delivered Champions League football. So I think, maybe he had a reason for that.
Well, a lot of the time
before the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but I suppose before the beginning of the season, and whatnot, he would have been given targets, I suppose, and then throughout the season, maybe they would have been adjusted based on how they were doing, maybe. So the focus.
I think he just thought, let me get top 4, the trophy, if anything, will come in Europa. And he probably thought, we've beaten Chelsea 3 times, can we get through with this team? But I thought he changed way too much, man.
I
hate.
We can't exactly call him the Tinker Man, can we? We can't exactly call him the Tinker Man, So I'm thinking that obviously it was inevitable. We played the same team 5 games in a row, the first time since 93-94 season, and then Luke Shaw got injured, Bide got injured, and we started taking knocks and whatnot. So is that part of it, or in terms of being a little bit maybe naive? I'm not sure, but you have to look at it in terms of for what it was. We was on a run. We've got an established 11 which we haven't had for donkey's years. That's what we have to look at as well. So I think we have to we have to take it for what it is. Guys, much appreciated for you joining us in the chat. Raymond Moore saying, oh my god, it's Adam Mckola, the legend. So yes. Much appreciate that, Raymond. I suppose if you're looking at what we've done this season, it's a big achievement because from where we were to where we finished in the Premier League, it's a big achievement.
And I don't think anyone expected us to finish first.
Nah, me included, man. Me included.
I said 4th, but I was being optimistic.
You ain't supposed to admit that, Matt. Come on, man.
Once we sold Lukaku, didn't replace him. Alexis didn't replace him. Herrera didn't replace him. All these players go. It's hard. We forget because it feels so long ago where we were. We weren't at all. And Lingard didn't perform. Mata didn't perform. Pereira didn't perform. So we just had nothing.
True.
Rashford and Marshall were feeding off scraps for a long time. Pogba played 5 games before, his injury. 5 games. And when he played,
it's true. Yeah, that's true. But I'm looking on us now. I'm telling people because until we started showing signs of obvious fatigue, I'm saying to people, look, man, we're dangerous, man. We need to watch this space for next season as well. We're dangerous as well. Before we go into next topic though, Matt Rush is saying Greenwood offers so much more than Kane for England. What would you say to that in terms of, because obviously Greenwood can play anywhere along that front line, as we've established.
I think Kane's the best striker in the Prem after Aguero. So,
what do you see Greenwood as then?
Because then I wouldn't swap Rashford.
That's what I'm saying.
Or Greenwood for Kane.
And this is what I'm saying, bro. So we've got the opportunity, for example, to sign Kane, for 100 mil. You're not going to say yes to that.
Like Rooney and Ronaldo were breaking through.
Yeah.
I don't want to put this pressure on them, but there were better players out there than them at that time. But you would never have swapped them because you knew what could
they could.
Yeah, it's like that's what Man United's about. We're like making these players into stars and making them win titles and stuff. And I just think Kane's going to be redundant when these are in their peak.
True.
Like, and even before then, it's going to be like his England spot's under threat in the next 2 years.
Very true. Here's an interesting one as well from DK. Forget Sancho, get Traore, Ndidi, and Koulibaly. We're done.
I'm not that big a fan of Adama Traore. I think he's a good player, but I think he's very one-dimensional. And
straight line, innit? Straight line.
Yeah, I just don't. Off the bench, maybe he just remind. I think he's a lot better than Daniel James, but like I just not for me. And you'd have to pay how much for them? If you're gonna get anybody from money, Ruben Neves.
Yeah, that's my guy for the CDM role, but I don't feel like he would suit our style of play, if that makes sense. Like I feel like we need a ball winning, out and out ball winning midfield, like Ndidi, like DK said there. And if Ndidi, Koulibaly, Sancho, that's a good window for me.
But you said forget Sancho.
Huh? Yeah, he did. Yeah, to be fair, that's true actually. Right. Okay. So that being said, it's been a successful season by standards of where we didn't think we was going to finish. Who's your player of the season, Mac? Hold on, Mac. Before you answer that, okay. Who's normally your guy? Martial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Don't change it up now, Mac.
I like a lot of players in this team, but Martial has deserved our backing and Pogba more than most in the last couple of years, and that's why sometimes you just have to stick up for them, innit?
True.
And when you had that war criminal trying to push him out the club,
True.
It wasn't on.
Yeah, I hear that. On that note, who is your player of the season then?
Anthony Martial, all day. Top goal scorer at the moment. I think he's one of the most improved players. I think he had one bad month when he was playing in January, and I think he had 2 months out. And besides that, he's just been fantastic throughout the whole season, pre-break, post-break. He was scoring goals before Bruno came, and scoring goals, and made a great relationship with Bruno since. His partnership with Rashford, they've connected more than anyone in the Premier League history for Man United, more than Cole and York. He's the first player to score more than 17 goals for United in the league since Fergie left. First hat-trick since Robin Van Persie in the league. Like, you just think of all these things, and then you think of some of the quality of his goals as well. The chip against Watford was my personal favourite. I thought that was
nice. That was nice.
But the Norwich one, the Sheffield one for the hat-trick, the goal against Southampton, like some of his the Partizan Belgrade goal, the quality of some of his goals are ridiculous. But he's also added those scrappy goals as well.
In the 6-yard area.
He'll end this season on 25, and next season the target has to be 30. Like, that's how it is for him now. It's going to be like you have to keep progressing now, because he's probably had 2 years where he's been held back a little bit, probably through some fault of his own, some fault through the managers. And I think now it's time to kick on, and I think he has this year. He's player of the year by far.
He has. And I think if you look at it, like you said, some of it through his own fault, but beforehand, if you look at it, he was brought to the club in his first season, 17 goals. After that, obviously, we've brought in other players, your Lukaku's, your Ibrahimovic, playing directly in his position. Obviously, he got his number taken off him, which is obviously a bit of a confidence knocker. Do you know what I mean? So for me, he's done really well to come back. And some of the football he's playing now, like you say, the link-up play in and around the edge of the area. As soon as he come on last night, he just looks so. When someone comes on the pitch,
he told them like that's how it is, though. He told them, "I'm gonna go on and score, get me on."
Yeah, bro. You see the look, he was like, yeah.
But I loved as well. Like he looked over, and then Ollie's smiling at him, and then Ollie's looked at Rashford.
I look at Rashford.
I love that because they're big friends.
Yeah.
They have that competitive rivalry where Rashford wants to be top goal scorer and Marshall wants to be top goal scorer, and it wouldn't surprise me if Rashford goes and scores on Monday. So,
well, you can tell there's a healthy camaraderie and a healthy competitive streak in between them as well. But yeah, for me, I would happily have both of them scoring 25 goals this season. And like you say, for next season, he's got to look at 30. For Martial, I had a few reservations. So I was saying, is he that 20 to 25 goal a season guy at the beginning of the season? He's shown out, man. So I'm happy for the guy as well. So, long may it continue as well. But I just wanted to get onto a couple more comments before we dive out, people. There was one there from Footy Live. Declan Rice for me at CDM. I thought that's interesting, but maybe lacks a bit of athleticism. And then another one, Manish has said, guys, what do you think of Torres centre back? I'm thinking that's Pau Torres, maybe. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So, I mean,
Torres has gone to
City, isn't it? Yeah.
Pau Torres. I'm not gonna pretend I know a lot about him. I don't.
Pau Torres, I'm not 100% on myself, to be fair. What about this other guy, Gabriel Magalhaes? I don't even know how to say his name.
Magalhaes. It looks like we're linked to him, but we're not really in for him. Do you know what I mean? We maybe inquired or something, but the talk seems to be like Everton, Lyon, Arsenal broke. So it's not. I don't think United are really in it. Reminds me of Yerry Mina when we were linked with him and
Yerry Mina. Yeah. I don't. You come in training, Shane. What? Anyway, Mac, thank you very much for joining me on the United Man, and everyone in the comments, thank you for joining us as well. Hopefully, man, always a pleasure, man, and hopefully have you back on soon. But I know you're busy, man. So just look after yourself, man, and get to bed at a decent hour, bro. Yeah, I would say.
Will do, man.
Take care, guys. I'll see you next one. Take care.
Nice. I'm catching a bit, bro.
In a bit, bro. In a bit.